ou noite, exatas ou humanas, cidade ou campo. Poder fazer escolhas significa conquistar um dos maiores desejos da humanidade, a independência. E o Sebrae acredita que empreender é uma porta para a independência. Para as pessoas de todas as idades, gêneros e que buscam mais opções para suas vidas. Para o Sebrae, tão importante quanto incentivar negócios a darem certo é apoiar pessoas que transformam sonhos em projetos de vida, que ajudam a gerar empregos, desenvolver a sua comunidade e a transmitir a cultura empreendedora no país. Um lugar onde todos têm liberdade para escolher, inclusive escolher empreender. Sebrae, a força do empreendedor brasileiro.
A moda da Malve não tem ponto final, igual a sua. Nós acreditamos que pequenas atitudes transformam o mundo. Quer mais atitude do que mudar o seu jeito de escolher? Moda inteligente, feita de um jeito mais sustentável que reflete o seu estilo. Uma peça de roupa pode viver muitas histórias, por muito tempo. Não é sobre ser descartável. É sobre você e sobre o mundo. Malve, moda sem ponto final.
Olá a todos e todas, muito boa noite.
Hello, everybody. Good night. I am Yamê. I am the Executive Director of Rio Ethical Fashion. I am here to greet all the participants in this panel, my colleagues, my friends in this initiative of Fashion Without Poison, brought to you by Rio Without Fashion. That today we have more than 40,000 signatures. It's something that surprised us very positively. We are here today enjoying this moment of debate, of talks, to talk a little bit more about this campaign to you. And for that, I have the honor to bring Fernanda Simon, the Executive Director of Fashion Revolution Brazil. Larissa Henrici from Voice 176, that is the communicator of this campaign. And to start to open this talk, Marina Colerato, that was here with us yesterday, Modefica, that will give a general panorama, and then I will bring one of them. Each one of them will talk a bit to contextualize this campaign. So Marina, please, you have the mic. Be welcome.
Bom, primeiro, obrigada, Yamê.
First, thank you, Yamê and Ethical Fashion, and my colleagues from panel, and also my colleagues from campaign for this talk today, for everyone that is watching. Really fast, I'm going to contextualize this relation of fashion with agrotoxins. So very quickly, this campaign surfaced in a moment of rearticulation of the Congress to the approval of the law project 621/002, that is the law project of the poison. And by coincidence, lots of different works of Rio Ethical Fashion and Brazil Fashion Revolution, they were already treating about the supply chain, looking at the fabrics, looking at the origins of this clothes, especially in the relation of the agro-business with the fashion business, with Yamé's work. report of this fashion brought some kind of data that were already existing. We just put in order about the usage of agrotoxins in cotton and in trees that they are used in some fibers inside the fashion industry. And we understood that that was necessary then how this data, all this data that we have, all this information, and with articulation for the approval of this law, it was needed to start and to put some pressure in the sector and in the parliament about this understanding of fashion and agrotoxins, considering that everyone that produces fashion, that sells clothes, they are related in some way with this sector, with this high usage of toxins. And even though Brazil is the representative of the most sustainable cotton in the traditional market today, this same cotton is it's the same cotton that most consumes toxins per area. Is a cotton that uses 7 of the 10 different toxins that are used in the country. So you have a relation that is very important to do between the clothes that we use and the industry produces, and with these agrotoxins and these systematical approvals of more toxins, of more poisoning of the population, and more agency so we can transform our agricultural base. So the campaign is about a sectorial movement that is not approving this highly toxic cotton. On the contrary, we're talking about a sustainable cotton. We want to open up this discussion, to broaden this discussion. More people need to be responsibilized, and more people need to act upon this agenda, including the Congress. This fight against the law of the poison, it's coming up. We are uniting with lots of people. We are articulating to show this relation between fashion and toxins, and so we can get fashion to act upon this agenda. So it is a campaign of 2 big fronts that are very important, of awareness and also responsibility. Now I'm going to pass the mic to my colleagues. I just giving a broad vision about what is fashion without poison, and you girls can explain it better.
Olá, boa noite a todos.
Hello, good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure being here with all these women that are my fight partners. I'd like to congratulate Yamê and all the team because of this great event that is a great inspiration for all of us. So I am Fernanda Simon. I am the Executive Director of Fashion Evolution Brazil, besides other places that I work. But before all that, before any of the jobs, positions that I occupy, I am an activist. I am someone that is looking to fashion as a transformation tool and in pro of life, of the world, of the environment. So this question about the cotton, I'd like to talk a bit how it came to me, how it came to Fashion Evolution. I'm not going to talk about campaign. I believe that Ma gave a broad introduction, and Eloy and Larissa can explain better later. I remember that more than 10 years ago, when I lived in London and I was assistant of John's in the showroom of fashion and sustainability, in my first day, my first question was, besides the slavery in the sector, what is the greatest urgency in fashion? And she said, the cotton. At that time, they were talking about the cotton of Uzbekistan, and I watched the movie about the true cost of cotton that showed the whole history of the desertification of Mararau, of Aral Sea, and involved even child labor in cotton production, and it's one of the most cotton intensive countries. And when I came to this history, I saw that it was everywhere, really. This is the cotton production, including Brazil. At the time, some women were talking about that as Catarina Hamlet, Saframine. So I was very inspired by them. By my master, Dona Shiva, that is an activist, always came to talk about cotton. And when I came to Brazil in 2014 to found Fashion Revolution here, I always thought this cause as something that is urgent, something that needs to be worked with here. So I saw all the doors were closed. To talk about organic cotton in Brazil, it's taboo. I have here the number that less than 1% of the cotton being produced in Brazil is organic. So we have more than 99% of a cotton that is conventional, that probably have a transgenic seed with lots of agrotoxins that are done in a process of monoculture. So to talk about a cotton that is in fact sustainable, a cotton that is agroecological, that is environmental, that is organic, it's a taboo because the sector sells this cotton as a sustainable cotton. So how many times, several reunions, events that I took part in during the years, this subject was really not enabled. It was distorted. It was interrupted. And we see that these cotton producers, they make great campaigns in, they say agro is pop, agro is forward, agro is development. They pay great brands and influencers and promoters to promote this cotton that they say is sustainable, but it's done in that manner. So how can we, as an activist, talk? Our voice is really flooded by these activities. So it is a very powerful industry, and we need to unite ourselves. So being here with these women, with this organization, is already a victory. I believe that we took a great step, and from now on we have much to do still, but it's great that we are here united. It's an honor in name of Fashion Revolution to be with Modefica, with Ma, that is walking along this path for several years now, bringing lots of different provocations. Yamê with Real Ethical Fashion, that is an initiative that is a bit younger, but it's coming to unite us, bringing lots of collaboration. And with the other girls, Elo from Fashion Heavy, Laris from Fashion Heavy for a lot of time, and she has other projects as well. So it is an honor to be with all of you in this project, to bring a fashion without poison. That's my hope. I was thinking, what would I bring to this talk? I believe that is a meeting of hope, so we can move forward. Talk about the soil health is to talk about our health. So to fight for a fashion without poison is fight for our life, for the life of everyone. And if we are fighting for life, that's the only fight worth fighting. Remembering the teachings of nature that shows the importance of being connected, of working together, and that's prosperity. Nature thrives when it works together in union. I'm going to say for everyone to see the debate from the morning, where we say the future of cotton, where we brought two agricultures from the north, to talk about that. What is this fashion without poison? We can understand watching that the importance of not using agrotoxins, to having the communities, the lands being owned by the communities. So I believe it's very important you talking that. I ask of everybody here to see this panel, because it was very great. I'm going to throw the mic to Elo. She's also from Fashion Revolution, to say to us how is this campaign internationally, because we are ambitious, right? We make part of this global world. Our cotton goes to the rest of the world, goes abroad. So nothing more correct than sound the alarm for the rest of the world. Thank you, Fashion Revolution, for having this network and really taking a stand in this fight. Thank you, Yamê. Hello, everybody that are watching us. I'm very happy as well of being here with you in this panel, talking about a subject that is so important for the fashion industry. And I'd like to bring this international context, especially from the point of view of relations of Mercosur countries and countries from the north, like the America and Europe, and the cotton and cellulose that comes together to make the fabric. Everything that Marina brought in the beginning about the intensive use of agrotoxins, how this impact the health of the soil, of the water, of people, that is known and that is proven by several studies. There is a threat of exporting the Brazilian cotton, because the Europe and the United States, they are producing agrotoxins, but several of the products that are being prohibited up there, they are being sold right here. So we have an important reflection, beside the impacts on life, of course, is the question of the body as a territory. So multinational companies, they sell to Brazil tons of agrotoxins that were already banned up there, but they can be used here. As an example, Brazil, there are 44% of substances that are registered were already prohibited in Europe. That, according to Larissa Bombardi, that is a researcher in the area, recognized internationally. She said that is an indication of the asymmetry geography. So it is a cycle of poison that happens from the North countries and the Mercosur countries, and it brings together with that a molecular colonialism term that are present in this relation. So our bodies here in Brazil and other countries here in South America, they are exposed to substances of chemical and toxic substances that bodies in Europe are not. So we have two weights and two balances in these relations. So how do we weight lives? Some lives are worth more, some lives are worth less. So here, with this law project that is known as the Poison Law, it is working towards this movement against life, foreseeing the flexibilization of and the approval of several other agrotoxins that put our lives and ecosystems in risk. We already seen in Bolsonaro's government since the beginning, independent from all these laws that I talked about, that were approved more than 1,000 agrotoxins in the last 2 years that bring lots of health damages. And the approval of this law comes comes to empower this politics, this recent politics in Brazil against life, really. So fashion, yes, has all to do with it. Fashion needs to be a spearhead of this movement as well, a pro-life, because if that happens to our clothes, imagine what we are putting on our plate. So it is very important that we put that on a highlight for the well-being of everyone that sit to eat, and the workers that touch the soil with their hands, for fashion, for nature. As we have more than 40,000 signatures in this petition against the venom law, and that demonstrates a political capital that is very important. It shows power that this campaign has in terms of popular engagement, we know that we need to take an effort in the sense of education to empower this campaign of fashion without poison, because lots of people don't really correlate the usage of cotton with agrotoxin with the clothes that we use every day. We expect, as a result of this petition, of these signatures, to be measuring in a short and long term the possible futures. We expect really, we incentivize the mobilization of the industry, of the fabric industry, to take a stand about the subject, because it has all to do with the way in which the businesses make business today. So to conclude, this petition are available in English and in Spanish. It got this really big coverage in the world because of that. It is being promoted by Fashion Revolution globally and other networks. And the idea is that this petition does not end here. It doesn't have an end, but we are understanding the better ways to make this delivery for the congressmen and congresswomen, not only for the public power, but also for the private sector, so we can have a deal, so that we can have a demonstration of compromise of the sector and of the private sector and the private sector. So like to pass to Larissa so she can talk about the next steps.
Obrigada pelo convite. É prazer.
Thank you, Elo. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you. We got surprised with this campaign. It was an encounter of these three institutions and the communication with voice. And the idea, as Elo said, the campaign never ends. We are here to call more and more supporters. Your signature is so important. We have 40,000 signature. It has increased this number with this broadcasting. So this is our work of bringing to light to this topic, straightening up the sector, the fashion in the environmental discussion, its importance. I can assure that everybody has clothing at home. So it's everybody's problem, sustainability that we have, especially this demand. That's the role that we would like to exercise, represent our supporters, our subscribers, to invite the institutions, the organizations to support us in this petition. We have the email, modasemveneno@. If you want to support the campaign, it will be in our Change webpage. And also the idea is to bring communication more frequently for the supporters, for the subscribers to follow. We are going to render this in the parliamentary discussion, and Yamê will represent this campaign on the 9th with Padilha, the congressman. We need to bring up this topic. We need to talk about it. And this is our effort to bring this agenda to the Congress, especially with the parliament, when we have this openness. International we have a big supporter because we have this presence already. And the dialogue, corporate dialogue in the private sector. We want to see efficient changes, some commitment. So we count on the signatures, on people, on supporters, taking this message ahead. This is our exchange currency to bring this agenda for change. Thank you so much. So our speakers can talk better than me about it. Thank you so much, Lari. In order to conclude, I have a question to Marina that also raised this topic of cotton for so long in Modefica. A question coming from Bruna. The small brands, what they can do considering product and productive chain to help to strengthen the alternatives for agroecological and organic cotton. Bruna, first, thank you so much for your question. I believe that there is no single solution. Marina can talk some of them, but other people suggest some others. In my point of view, I believe that the small companies will have higher difficulties in accessing this product because of the scarcity of the products. I say we cannot have so much cotton to supply the need of the sector because there was no stimulation, and the stimulus come to the big plantations, this model of commodity demanding intensive use of pesticides and expelling the growers from the field because of the land, and also poisoning, making it difficult, the organic production in its surrounding. Of course, the production is scarce. We have a production that is scarce because of the macro production of conventional cotton. We need systemic investment. Small and mid-sized companies, there are two alternatives. One, collective purchase, to understand how we can fund using collective purchase to guarantee this route to a certain number of small companies, and they make a volume for the growers is interesting, and it assures the production. On the other hand, to ensure communication, efficient communication about the problem of pesticides in fashion. The colleagues mentioned people do not know about it, about the relationship of these two aspects. When we understand that we need systemic investment and we need to make noise to have this investment in public policies and also the companies, we move ahead with our agenda. It's taboo to talk about it, so let's talk about it. We need to talk more and more about it. So these are two pathways that the small and mid-sized companies can take in order to achieve fostering as well this movement of higher production of agroecological cotton, especially it. Thank you, Marina. We have to conclude. Too bad. The chat, we have several comments, but I'd like to let you know, Fê, would you like to conclude with your final considerations? Hello, Lari. You have 1 minute each. And I believe that, I hope, with this campaign, we can clarify, this campaign can work to clarify not only for people who work with fashion, people who enjoy fashion, but everybody who wear clothes, everybody does, that cotton that we have as sustainable is not sustainable, not of the sort. And yes, we do need to get together for a fashion without poisoning, fostering cotton that is sustainable, organic cotton, agroforestal, agroecological, for the well-being of everybody, the land, the animals, water, soil, ours. So, my take-home message is that this campaign collaborates, spreading this word, this message. Hello? I would like to conclude by saying that this is an important signal of alert. You are invited, people who watch us here, to follow this in our network, Modefica, Revolution, Rio Ethical Fashion, and resonate these topics in your circles, in your network, because this is important. It's not mentioned enough, so it needs to be debated and resonate more. Thank you. Thank you, Lari. And the final consideration, I tell you that follow our communication because your strength is so important. So we are in the front line representing this desire of the population. Thank you so much, Marina. To conclude, I would like to thank you so much and say that spread the word and account the responsible because they have name and address. Just to conclude, sign up the petition. So make more signatures. We have more than 40,000. Now we have these people with the fashion evolution and international ref We are going to gather more signatures to have more steps ahead in the Congress. We are going to open up our network with different institutions and initiatives that are so important. So thank you so much for attending this conversation. Next panel is about indigenous fashion. Bia Saldanha will be here, and Piratapuia, the indigenous brand. So nice, amazing. We are back soon.